Heather.
Yeah, come on in.
Supposed to have a meeting with Alejandro today?
Uh, No, he's not in. He actually asked me to step in for him today. I hope that's all right.
That's okay. My name's Krueger.
My name's Callan.
Callan?
Yeah, Callan.
Perfect. I'm from ITEC 451 supply. Do you mind if I have a seat?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your day going so far?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. We have about 10-15 minutes. I can talk to you kind of, Alejandro and I talked about, we can maybe see what your issues are, if they align with his, and go from there.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. He asked me to be here, so that's kind of me.
So I kind of have a little bit of a recap. He asked for me to bring one of those from our last meeting. So we talked about forklift service, because we're a forklift service company in one of our divisions. I'm actually the warehouse and design forklift parts service consultant. We talked about some hoist and crane inspections, as you guys have some, and then obviously cafeteria for employees. He was pretty adamant about getting a cafeteria for employees. Don't know if that's an issue for you. We can talk about that. And then obviously about an online parts portal. Kind of help your maintenance guys with a little bit of ease off their back on the parts side. Before we get started with, what's your role in the company?
Director of operations.
How long have you been with the company?
5 years.
Gotcha. Mind if I take some notes?
Oh, that's fine.
You said director of operations?
Yes.
Gotcha. And you guys doing some research, you guys have multiple locations at Krueger, I think, Texas. Are you in charge of that or just mainly the Lexington location?
I mean, I'm primarily the Lexington location, but I do have some influence over those other sites as well.
Gotcha. Then, so as a director of operations, like what kind of is your daily role? Like what do you take on day to day?
Just ensuring that we have the appropriate manpower that suit our needs. You know, it's more high level. It's ensuring that that the people that we're supplying product to are happy, and just overall day in, day out operations.
Gotcha. And then what's your customer base? Is it mainly around Lexington, Midwest? Is it all over?
Global.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're a global company. Heavy agriculture, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yep. Perfect. So I was kind of go over some details of what ITEC 451 supply, like I said. Another sheet I brought that he said some references. So we mainly parts and service is kind of my role. We'll go over some scenarios before we get to there. What do you kind of see as issues, if anything? Do you see like a cafeteria being needed? Because he was pretty adamant about that.
What are some issues that I haven't thought of any issues. Okay. What are some issues that you could see?
Potentially a heavy load on your maintenance staff. We can try to lighten that up, get them kind of more on what they're supposed to be doing as maintenance, not trying to do the oil changes on the forklifts, kind of more emergency type maintenance. We'll go with that. We do have a 3-hour emergency lead time now. It just got changed to 4. We have a new company initiative, so if an emergency does happen with the forklift, say a horn breaks or light breaks, we will consider that an emergency because OSHA standards, you have to have it on there. If it's on there, it has to be working. So we'll be out there within 3 hours. Another issue would be hoisted crane inspections. You guys get those inspected annually?
We do.
Okay, and then who do you use for that? Are you guys happy with them?
You know, that's going to be more of my superintendent who lines up those agreements. So I'm not sure exactly who we use, but I do know that it is part of it is part of what we do today. Okay. Do you mind if maybe later I'll get his contact info and we'll see if he's interested in that. Yeah. And then online parts portal. I heard one of your maintenance guys, I believe, is driving to the local parts store every day. Is that true or not true? We have I believe we use Fastenal right now. Okay. For a lot of our parts.
Okay, including forklift parts and your.
I mean, if we needed to get some, I'm sure we can get it from him.
Okay.
I'm not sure
yeah,
how competitive it would be, but
you satisfied with them?
You know, again, that's more of something that my superintendent would handle. The guy beneath me.
Okay.
More director of maintenance type role.
Gotcha. Well, we can obviously, if you're okay, if they set up another meeting with him in the future, we'll go over.
I mean, a lot of our forklifts have been there for. I mean, a lot of these things are 20+ years old.
Obviously,
in terms of the service, I mean, I've never seen anything like a horn on a forklift break. When would that happen?
Honestly, if you're operators are rough on it maybe. It's very rare. You more see like a tire bust or hydraulic leak than a horn break. You might see an electrical fault in a light, or maybe the bracket around the light may bust. But usually those are pretty rare. They are considered working if they're on forklift, so that's kind of an emergency.
Okay. I'm more curious about the cafeteria. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So he said he wanted a cafeteria for your employees, as they don't currently have one right now. So we're going over some options, maybe like a mezzanine. We do warehouse design, so we'll maybe have a mezzanine with a little cafeteria. It's a modular office on top. And a benefit of a modular office for the cafeteria is it's actually a tax deduction for you under Nebraska Tax Act 173. So you can actually depreciate it as equipment and not a building.
I'd have to, I don't know. I'd have to have my accountant look at that. I have no idea.
So that's kind of one of the benefits that we have with those modular offices is, let's say you guys move locations and you're not happy with it, just take it. That's like Lego bricks. Something I like to say, just take it down and move it.
So cafeteria. So I'm like, you're gonna build me a cafeteria? Like, so ovens, like, what do you, I'm confused.
He was just saying a cafeteria just for like tables, chairs, so you can bring a basically cold lunch, I would say. Have it if you guys want. Stoves. Would you have?
I mean, at the south facility, they have a room where they can eat.
Okay. What about the other facilities?
At the north facility, they've got a room where they can eat. So I don't know what he meant by cafeteria. Have you been in our facility?
I have not. I was planning to come out. Something came up, but if I could, maybe we'll go tour sometime and we can look at some options if that's okay with you.
I mean, I don't do tours.
Okay.
So I gotta be more.
And would you want something, I guess, for both north and south location, or just?
Well, I don't know if I need anything for the north and south location.
Okay, we could do that.
Do what?
We can look at if you're okay, look at kind of north and south location. How far are they apart?
They're within like 3 miles of each other.
Okay. And
yeah.
Which one's just north of the interstate there? Like the bigger plant? Is that the north or is that you guys' south location?
What was that? I missed that.
Just north of the interstate?
Yeah.
Is that considered your north or your south location?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have locations north of that. Then we got one that's kind of in the middle too.
Okay. And how big are those?
They're huge. They're huge.
Comparable size, kind of all the same.
I don't know. Why I'm curious as to what your thought process is there in terms of.
I'm just trying to see what the size of each location is, kind of get a basis on exactly how many maybe hoisting cranes you guys have, forklifts you have, kind of square footage. What's your output on production per plant?
Yeah, they're large facilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most of it comes out of all of them. You guys kind of go from like a north location to a south location.
They all do different things.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say more comes out of one than the other.
Okay.
They all serve a very unique purpose for our business. So they all provide value in their own way.
What's the south location's main customer base versus like the north? Like what's different, I guess, between the two in terms of the customer base that you see?
I mean, again, we're heavy agricultural. So in terms of our customer base, it's a lot of dealers that we deal with, or
Gotcha.
we don't deal direct with the agriculture customers very often unless they're extremely large.
Okay.
But I'd say it's primarily dealers.
Gotcha.
If that's what you're asking.
That is, yep. And then you get cultivators and that, does that come out of the south location?
Yeah.
North location?
Cultivators, one trippers.
Okay.
It really just depends on what our needs are, what the market is doing. And I mean, we can flex. So if we need to shift production and move things around, we can do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So with that, obviously the big pieces of equipment with the hoisting cranes, you guys lift those? Okay.
Yeah.
You bring trailers in, or do you guys take them out into the yard and lift them?
We can do both.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do both.
You guys have docks as well. You look.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of your dock maintenance? Would that be the superintendent? Or
no, we've got another guy that handles that as well.
what's his name, if you mind?
Bruce.
Okay. He's in charge of dock space maintenance?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So that's obviously some people that, if we could get a separate meeting, maybe next week or the week after.
Yeah, you want my superintendent's name too?
Yeah, that'd be great.
His name's Alex.
Okay, and are they both north location, south location, depends on?
They're all over the place. Yeah, they're all over the place. I got, Alex handles the kind of maintenance between all three facilities, and then Bruce does a lot of the docking between all three facilities.
Gotcha.
They're all over.
Perfect.
And then you'll probably want our accountant's name too,
Okay.
in terms of that tax
Yep,
deduction.
what's the accountant's name?
Cindy,
Gotcha,
with an S.
gotcha. It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And she's north location, south location?
Yes, she's primarily at the south location.
Gotcha.
I'm really confused on the cafeteria.
Okay,
I don't,
what would you like to know about it?
I just don't know why. I don't, we've got places they can eat. So are you providing like a food service?
We are not, he was just looking for a space. If that's not an issue that you guys see,
That's not an issue.
okay, we can always cross that off. And maybe in the future, if you guys grow, you're looking at building maybe a little space for a cafeteria, we can always look at that. That's just something that we talked about in the last meeting, so I thought I'd throw it in the recap just so you're curious, but if that's not an issue that you see, then you don't need to worry about that and spend wasting time on that. What are some
What's the bread and butter of what you do?
bread and butter would be parts and service,
Parts and service for the forklifts.
forklifts and hoisting cranes, that would be probably bread and butter, yep. We do online part portals, we have a big warehouse
Who's your biggest customer in the area right now?
in the area, like local area, or
Local.
probably Baldwin Filters,
Baldwin's.
yep.
Who do you work with over there?
In terms of like person, so we Pete Womack.
Oh, you gave me reference
Yep.
right here.
So Pete Womack's the VP of operations. We do have a resident tech in Baldwin just because of the large size of it. So he spends most of his time maintaining and
I heard Baldwin's not doing too good right now.
It's going. We don't see any slowdowns on our side, at least on the parts and service side. So I don't know if there's something that our tech may not be telling me or they're not telling me, but
No, just in terms of financials, I heard they might be not doing too well. What have you heard?
nothing so far. We'll see if somebody relays information to me. Like I said, we're doing well.
Smithfield,
We're doing well.
Ed, old Ed at Smithfield, he's kind of a prick. No, sorry, I shouldn't say.
No, you're good.
What do you think?
First impressions were harder. That's a customer we've worked on.
So you think he's a prick?
I do not anymore.
Oh.
So like I said, first impressions were
Catch on it.
really tough.
Gotta catch them all.
Exactly. And then with Smithfield, we do something interesting with our forklifts is fleet reporting. So we can actually kind of get some nitty gritty of why a forklift's costing the company too much money. Maybe you're blowing out tires all the time or hydraulic hoses.
Mhm.
Kind of zone that in and figure out, kind of save, so that's our biggest goal, saving the customer money. If it's a penny, it's a penny. If it's $100,000, it's $100,000. We're gonna make a strong effort to save you guys as much money as we possibly can.
Okay.
And then Omaha Steaks is one of our other biggest customers in the Omaha area. We do a lot of local.
Scott Anderson.
Yep.
He stole my girlfriend in high school.
Sure, high school.
You probably never heard of it.
So that's kind of the biggest three references. I can obviously compile a list of more if you would like. Maybe it's a customer that you,
They just don't, I mean, these guys don't do what we do. That's the problem. I'm trying to,
Okay.
who do you have that does more agricultural equipment? Here's a reference.
we do a little bit with cloths.
Boss, what does a little bit mean?
Well, I'd say we're probably 25% in.
Okay.
We're kind of working our way towards growing the business.
Mhm.
It's obviously a tough one. That's an account I started about 6 years ago. I came on. It's growing slowly. They're in a contract right now with one of our competitors, so that's kind of the biggest hold up right now.
Oh, so you're a portion of it, you know, the whole thing.
No, we're working on it. As soon as their contract's up,
Who's your competitor?
we've got plenty of competitors. Rocca with the cat.
Like how many, like 5,
Probably eight
8?
or nine.
How come there's so many competitors?
It's a great question. It's a never going away business and industry, material handling forklifts.
It's just not something I've ever considered. I mean, we just do a lot of that stuff in-house,
Okay. What stuff exactly?
the maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah, we just do a lot of
Your
that.
maintenance guys are busy all the time.
Yeah.
Do they ever have like a backup, like where they're backed up a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe? On the site?
Mr. Schwann?
no. Yes,
Your next appointment is here.
okay, perfect. Well, Ethan,
I'll leave you a business card.
Ethan, I like you. You seem like you know what you're talking about, and I want to have another meeting. You got my points of reference there. Just
I do.
book another meeting with me when you've got those, when you've made contact with them.
And would you like a meeting with all four or?
Let's do separate meetings with them.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ethan.
Sounds good.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to
man.
meet you. Thank you.
Yep.